Hello.
What up?
We are together again.
I know.
In the pod nursery.
I know, it's almost like we aren't recording like 5 of these at once.
No. What are you talking about?
We would never.
No. This is Hot for Justice.
Hello, that's Jessica.
And that's Jaymie.
And down there is Dingo!
Yeah, he's stalking this bag of popcorn that I've been eating.
Yes.
Shoving in my mouth because I'm really hungry.
Yes, and we're currently waiting for our Postmates to arrive.
Yeah.
Not sponsored.
I'm hungry.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Postmates sponsor us, please.
If you hear Harlow freaking out because the doorbell's ringing, that's Harlow's bad. We're sorry in advance.
Some people's kids.
I know. She's insane.
Yeah.
Anyways. So it's, I think, your turn this week first.
I think it is my turn this week. Do we have anything else we needed to talk about? I don't think so.
We're going to do a screen recap of Don't Fuck With Cats. This is your warning to go watch it.
Yes.
It will be up on Wednesday this week. So
I'm like trying to do the math in my head. I'm like, when did we?
yeah. So it'll be up on Wednesday. And then just to give you kind of a update of what we're going to do next. After Don't Fuck With Cats, I think we were going to do the JonBenet Ramsey one.
Yes, which is going to be the casting JonBenet and the ID thing that you can watch on Hulu.
Or ID.
Yeah, if you have.
And I actually was wrong. That is available on regular Hulu, not just if you have the live TV subscription. So you can watch that. And then we were going to watch Dahmer on Dahmer.
Yep.
Which is also on Hulu. I believe that one is only if you have a live TV subscription.
Yes, but it's also from Oxygen.
Okay, so
if you have the Oxygen app or like their own streaming thing, it's probably also streaming.
Yes. Well, so fun life hack. If your parents or someone you're close with pay for TV, like for example, my parents pay for DirecTV. You can create a login and then you can watch these channels if they're part of your package with the app with your login. So what I do is I just log in with my mom's. Thanks, Mom. You're the best. And I can watch like Oxygen or whatever, like different like ID channel. I can download their app. I can watch FX. I can watch like a bunch of these different channels if you just download that app. And then you log in with that person's account and you can watch everything.
Wow.
Yep.
Color be impressed.
Yeah. So we don't pay for cable because it's so expensive.
Oh, yeah.
And we, didn't have it the 4 years we lived in Germany. So when we moved back, we're like, we're not going to pay for this again. But yeah, my mom, that allows me to watch my shows that I can't get on Hulu.
Interesting. Copy that.
Yeah. So
the more
you
you
have
know.
Somebody who loves you enough to like, thanks, Mom. Really.
To bootleg their cable.
Yeah. And then after Dahmer on Dahmer, I think we were going to do Making a Murderer.
Yes.
With guest star Wes Penrose.
Yes. I actually need to watch the second season.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I have not yet. And I want to rewatch the first season.
Yeah, Wes made me rewatch it a while ago.
Yeah, I'll have to do that.
But then he stayed up all night and just binged it. And I was like, I'm going to bed. So I missed.
If that's not the most Wes thing I've ever heard in my life, I don't know what is.
He's really feels strongly about Stephen Avery being innocent. So you'll hear about him. Or from him.
It's Wes's soapbox that he's gonna...
Yeah, he'll get on top of that thing. So, watch all that if you kind of want to follow along. And if you don't, then don't.
Yeah, because it'll be up in the next couple of months.
Yeah, so.
We're trying to do one every other week.
Yeah, we've created kind of like a content schedule that we're trying to, new year, new us, we're trying to be a little bit more organized.
Organization!
Yeah, because... it's been for a couple months a little hectic with me having a baby and us not being able to really get together. So we're, thanks if you hung in this long. Thanks for
sticking with us,
supporting us. But
yeah,
mainly me because my life's a hot mess. But we're getting it together.
Yeah,
and by that segue,
yeah, and now it's my turn to talk about some things.
Yeah,
most specifically,
most depressing shit.
Truly. But, we try to lighten it up a little bit. And I'm sorry, I just burped. And I
didn't hear it.
I'm not editing it out.
Didn't happen.
Excellent.
At least it wasn't a fart. It's fine.
Honestly, if I farted and you could hear it on the podcast,
I'd leave it in.
Oh, it'd be impressive.
Yeah. Listen. Okay, one day I was videotaping Emerson because she was being so cute. And she just goes, belches. And I was like, this is solid. I got it all on video. And I'm going to keep it. And then on her 18th birthday, I'm going to compile a big bunch of these videos. Farts, burps, anything I have.
The most embarrassing things you can find.
She's going to hate me. It's
love it.
Great.
I love how you're pre-planning the future embarrassment of your child.
Oh, yeah.
I'm living for it.
I'm here for it.
Fuck yeah.
Anyways, okay. I'm going to stop my my sidebar.
Ooh, our Postmate will be delivered allegedly in 6 minutes.
holla.
That was fast.
When that gets to like 3 minutes, we might have to pause.
That's
because
fine.
my dogs are going to lose their shit.
Yeah. Okay. So, the murder of Dorothy Jane Scott. Coming at you live from Wikipedia.com. Last week I said I'm pretty sure Reddit was my favorite website. Wikipedia's definitely a close second.
It's up there. I used Wikipedia, not for this case, but one of my cases. I knew you'd be proud of me.
I'm very proud. Thank you. Boop-a-doo, boop-a-boop-a-boop. So, Dorothy Jane Scott was disappeared on May 28th of 1980 in Anaheim. She had driven two coworkers to the hospital after one had been bitten by a spider. While they were waiting for the prescription to be filled, Dorothy went to her car to bring it around to meet them in front of the hospital. Mm-hmm. Her car approached them, but then it sped away.
What?
Uh-huh. Neither could see who was driving as the headlights were blinding them. They reported her missing a couple hours later after not hearing from her, and she never came back. In the preceding months, Scott had been receiving anonymous phone calls from a man who had reportedly been stalking her.
Whoa.
He had threatened to get her alone and to, quote, cut her up into bits so no one would ever find her, end quote.
Okay.
Yeah. This one's fucking bonkers.
Okay, this reminds me, I have to just sidebar again, sorry. I was listening to a podcast about this girl who she had gone to Target to get her boyfriend an anniversary present. Mm-hmm. And my mom always tells me, be careful. Because, like, recently sex traffickers, like, will target women and follow them.
In, like, parking lots and stuff like that.
Especially, like, with Emerson, like, Yeah. Well, anyway, so this girl, she disappeared after going to Target. And they were like, what? Well, investigators were able to get video of the parking lot. Yeah. And as she was getting in her car, somebody rushed her and basically shoved her in the car and, like, kidnapped. Ended up she was murdered. And
holy fucking shit.
Yeah, in broad daylight. And it made me think, like, your mom always says that. And I know they mean well because they love you, right? But you're like, yeah, that's never going to happen. But it totally can. So,
1,000,000,000%.
Just, something, ladies, to think about.
Yeah, be wary in parking lots, in public. And
even in daytime. And just be aware of your surroundings. Because odds are, if you have a bad feeling about something, or you're, my mom always said, trust your gut.
Yep.
And there's been times where I have, and I'm very grateful I did, because there was something off.
Yeah, you've told me some, like, kind of, like, freaky shit that...
Yeah. So.
Well, yeah, that reminds me. So, like, when I used to close when I worked at Target...
Oh, yeah.
Employees, like, we had to park underneath in the parking structure. Mm-hmm. And because I had the job lined up before I graduated college. Yeah. As a graduation present, my grandma got me a mag light that had a taser at the other end.
Smart.
Like, I kept that bitch in my purse. My hand was in my purse, like, keys in the other hand, like every night.
I was just talking to Audrey today about how in the mornings when I walk to work, it's very dark out, and I walk like a half mile to my office, and so when it's raining, like, I don't like having an umbrella because I can't see, and I have stuff in my hands, and I carry pepper spray. Like, I have it in my pocket with my finger on it. Yep. Because it's so early in the morning, and people get robbed or mugged, and especially women, like
1,000%.
And it's things like, I mean, guys, you're kind of lucky you don't really have to worry about it as much as, like, we do. And
well, I mean, like, even I was talking to Zach, because, like, we were talking about, our bachelorette party we're going on.
Oh, yeah.
He's going on a bachelor party for, like, a long weekend. I'm gonna be home alone.
Yeah.
And, like,
come
honestly,
stay with me.
Okay. Can I bring Charlie?
Because I'll be alone too. Yeah, I'll give my dogs to my mom.
Perfect. Deal. Ballin'. Well, I mean, the hard thing about it is that, like, a couple days are over, like, the week, but the weekend I'll stay.
Yeah. Because,
slumber party.
No, I know. When Wes isn't here, we have a friend who is living with us too, and I'm always like, "Are you gonna be home tonight?" Because I cannot sleep if I'm alone.
It's fucking terrifying. Like, when Zach went on his bachelor party, because he was only gone for 2 nights. Yeah. The first night I was home alone. And, like, I made my friend Megan come over and stay the other night because I was like, I can't do that again.
No, I don't. When we first moved into... We're such on a tangent right now.
Yeah,
when we first moved into this house, so we have really big sliding doors. And obviously when we first moved in, there were no curtains on anything. And Wes was on night shift.
Ugh.
All of our stuff was, like, everywhere. There were boxes everywhere. It just, like, wasn't home yet, obviously.
Right.
I was so freaked out. And I was by myself, and my parents had the dogs. So, because I was overwhelmed.
Oh, so you were all alone.
And I had the flu. I was really sick. So my parents just took the dogs for us. Yeah, so I was dead ass by myself. And I was like, I have to go to work. I can't sleep like this.
No, thanks.
No. Nope. It was hard.
Woosa.
Anyways, continue.
Yes.
That's creepy. Very creepy.
I know. All right. Sorry, we took a brief pause to eat some Chipotle.
Now we're hungry.
Yeah, not spawn.
Now I'm fat.
Same.
Woo. All right.
Okay, now that we are recharged and full of beans.
Seriously.
And spicy ass steak.
It was so spicy, my mouth hurt.
So spicy. Okay, so after we're done with all of our tangents and our lunch break, June of 1980, a man called the Orange County Register. By the way, this is within a month after her disappearance.
Okay.
A local newspaper had published a story on the disappearance and claimed that he had... Jesus Christ. A man called the Orange County Register, a local newspaper that had published a story on the disappearance, and claimed that he had killed Scott. Police believe that the caller was, in fact, Scott's killer. From 1980 to 1984, Scott's mother, Vera, also received phone calls from a man who claimed that he had killed Scott, or he knew the person that killed her.
Okay.
The phone calls could not be traced as the man did not stay on the line long enough. In August of 1984, partial remains were found and identified as Scott's. No arrests have ever been made in her case.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's probably your stalker.
Probably. And that's kind of like the main theory.
Yeah.
So a little bit about her. She was a single mother living in Stanton, California with her aunt and 4-year-old son. She was a secretary for 2 jointly owned Anaheim stores. One that sold psychedelic items, like love beads, lava lamps, shit like that.
Okay.
And the other was a head shop.
A what?
A head shop.
What's that?
Oh, boy. A head shop is kind of like a smoke shop.
Okay.
More or less. Like they sell like pipes for weed, tobacco. They probably sell tobacco usually.
Gotcha.
Other hippie dippy bullshit kind of things.
I got you.
Yeah. A lot of them also sell like shirts and just weird shit.
Okay. Fair.
Coworkers and friends that she had said that she preferred staying at home and was a devout Christian, which is kind of interesting considering her line of work.
Yeah. Very.
And didn't drink or do drugs.
Okay.
I mean, whatever.
Job's a job, though.
Abs-fucking-lutely. Her parents, who lived in Anaheim, babysat their grandson while she worked. Her father, Jacob, said that his daughter might have dated on occasion but had no steady boyfriend that the family knew of.
Okay.
So months before her abduction, she had been receiving anonymous phone calls from while she was at work from an unidentified male. She told her mother that she recognized the voice but couldn't remember the man's name.
That's creepy.
Yeah. The caller alternately told Scott of his love and devotion and also threatened to kill her.
Nothing says love and devotion like some murder.
I mean, you watch You.
True. You're right.
The man said that he had been stalking her and provided accurate details of her day-to-day life to prove it. Scott's mother recounted one day he had called and said to go outside because he had something for her. She went outside and there was a single dead red rose on the windshield of her car.
Okay.
Scott's mother said that one call especially horrified her daughter. The man reportedly told her that he would get her alone and cut her up into bits so no one would find her.
Seriously, no.
Because of the calls, Dorothy considered buying a handgun. About a week before her disappearance, she had began taking karate lessons.
Well, that's really sad, though.
Oh, it's really fucking sad.
Probably just surprised her and...
Yeah.
You know, nothing you can really do about that.
At 9 p.m. on May 28th of 1980, she was at an employee meeting at work. She noted coworker Conrad Bostron. He didn't look well and had a red mark on his arm. She and another coworker, Pam Head, had left the employee meeting to take him to the ER at UC Irvine Medical Center. She then changed into from her black scarf into a red one and stopped by her parents' house on the way to the hospital to check on her son. Medical personnel determined Bastron had suffered a black widow spider bite and treated him.
Oh.
The other coworker said that she and Scott remained in the ER waiting room. At no time she had said that Scott ever leave her side. So,
yeah,
like nothing weird until what's about to happen. He was discharged around 11 p.m. and was given a prescription. Scott offered to bring her car to the exit, and she didn't want him to walk too far in his condition, as he still wasn't feeling well. So she leaves, and then the other two go use the restroom briefly before heading out to the parking lot. Head and Bostrom filled his prescription and waited at the exit for Scott. When they didn't see her after a few minutes, they went out to the ER's parking lot, where they then saw Scott's car speeding towards them. The headlights blinded them so they couldn't see who was behind the wheel. They waved their arms to try to get her attention, but the car sped past them and took a sharp right turn out of the parking lot. Initially, both had thought that Scott had an emergency come up with her son. A few hours later, after not hearing from her, they reported her missing.
Was there any, video in the parking lot? Dang.
Nope. This was the 80s, so it was probably just a little bit too early for that.
Yeah.
1982.
True, yeah. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yikes.
So, around 4:30 a.m. on May 29th, Scott's car, a white 1973 Toyota station wagon, was found burning in an alley about 10 miles from the hospital.
Oh, okay. Not a good sign.
No. Neither she or her supposed kidnapper were anywhere nearby. On August 6th of 1984, a construction worker discovered a dog and human bone side by side, around 30 feet from Santa Ana Canyon Road. The bones were partially charred, and authorities believe that they had been there for about 2 years, as a bushfire had swept across the site in 1982.
And a dog?
Mm-hmm. Like, a dog's remains.
Did she have a dog?
I don't believe so.
Weird.
If there is, there's no, mention of her having a dog.
Yeah. Well, that's creepy.
And also, the dog wouldn't have been with her at the time.
Right.
So it could just be, a coincidence.
Yeah, that's true. But if they're, close together, probably not.
Oh. Dang. Y'all can't see me, but I'm, shrugging.
Yeah,
my arms
the emoji.
Yeah, the little...
Don't know.
Also reminds me of that, that meme of the little blonde girl, oh.
Yes. I love that meme.
One of my favorites.
Speaks to my life.
A turquoise ring and watch were also found with the remains. Scott's mother said that the watch had stopped at 12:30 a.m. on May 29th, about an hour after the vehicle had been seen.
How could they tell that it was, that day, though?
I believe, based on, other things that I've read, it was, a watch that had, the date on it.
Oh, okay.
You know, they have, the little, tiny little date numbers.
Yeah. Okay.
But, I mean, also, I guess who's to say if that was right or coincidentally it stopped on the 29th? I don't know.
Probably not, though.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Fair. On August 14th, so about a week after the remains were found, the bones were identified as Scott's using dental records. An autopsy could not determine the cause of death. A memorial service was held on August 27th of that year.
So sad.
About a week after her disappearance, her parents received a phone call from an unidentified man who said, "I've got her," and hung up.
Oh, no.
The same man called almost every Wednesday afternoon and said that he either had Dorothy or had killed her. The calls were usually brief and usually occurred when Vera was home alone. Vera's her mom.
Okay.
In April of 1984, a man called during the evening. Jacob Scott answered the phone and the call stopped. After Scott's remains were found in August of 1984, the family started receiving phone calls again.
No.
Police installed a voice recorder at the Scott residence. They were not able to trace the calls, however, because the man never stayed on the line long enough. A possible motivation in her murder surfaced on June 12th of 1980. An unidentified man called the front desk at the newspaper, said, "I killed her. I killed Dorothy Scott. She was my love. I caught her cheating on me with another man. She denied having anyone else, so I killed her."
What?
The editor also said that the caller knew Conrad Bostrom had suffered from a spider bite the night of May 28th. He knew that Scott had been wearing a red scarf. She had changed from her black scarf to a red one after the employee meeting. Neither of these details had been published in any of the articles.
That's really creepy. So obviously he's really, really stalking her.
Uh-huh. The caller also claimed that Scott phoned him from the hospital that night. Pam had disputed that claim, saying that she had been with Scott the entire time and she had not made any phone calls.
Yeah.
Investigators believe that the anonymous caller was responsible for the death.
Yeah, I would say so.
That's it.
That's creepy.
Isn't that so creepy?
That was in Southern California?
Anaheim.
Yeah. Dingo, our cold case dog, has something to say right now.
Yeah, he's very disturbed by this.
He wants some popcorn, actually.
He wants your roommate's leftover movie popcorn.
Yes. That I've been snacking on. Well.
Yeah, isn't that bonkers?
That's really creepy.
Yeah.
I mean, and then stalking really wasn't taken that seriously either.
No. Because it was just yeah, whatever. And there wasn't much they could do about it.
No, I mean, there still really isn't, but it's at least, more recognized now.
Absolutely, that it's potentially dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and if you don't know the person and they're not identifiable, obviously it makes it a lot fucking harder.
Yeah. That's so creepy.
Mm-hmm. Ugh. And, he had, her parents' phone number.
I mean, odds are it was somebody she knew.
Probably.
Probably very well.
Yeah.
So.
I was like, clearly it was not the man she took to the hospital.
No.
Because he was, waiting for her. But
Yeah.
But it could be anybody else.
Dang. That's really creepy.
Yeah, but they don't have any theories about, like, who it could be, or...
It's probably something we'll never be... Did they say what her cause of death was? Could they tell?
It was undetermined.
Okay, yeah.
Because it was just, like, old charred bones.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah.
Dang. Well, okay. Mine is kind of solved, but I think that there's... like, with a lot of these older ones that are... One case might be solved, but in, like, serial predators, then there's likely other cases that exist, but maybe... are not on the police's radar, or, they don't have enough information or whatever to connect them. So,
totally.
In 1994, a man named Arthur Rudy Martinez had escaped from prison in Washington State, where he was serving a life sentence for robbery and rape convictions.
So, Artie, piece of shit human being.
Yes.
Great.
After escaping, he made his way south, where he used an alias and lived in Fresno, California, for over 20 years. So Whoa. He was not caught. He was not. He was not caught. He just was chilling until he was diagnosed with terminal cancer. So then he came forward and he was like, "I escaped from prison. I'm wanted. This is my name," because he knew he knew he would get medical treatment in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a fucking asshole.
Yeah. So he went to prison. He died within 2 months at the age of 65.
I mean, good riddance.
Yes. Goodbye. You're not a good human. Even more so. Okay. So despite...
Sorry, that's mind-boggling.
Yeah. Despite the fact that he gave himself up for, like, escaping jail, there was totally more to the story that he never confessed to.
Of course there is.
Yes. So, using new DNA techniques, investigators, they kind of had their eye on him. They were able to tie him to 2 murders that had been committed decades ago, before he had been arrested in Washington for the rape.
Okay, I was going to say, did this happen, like...
Yeah, it was, like, before that. So, Jane Morton Antunez was discovered in the backseat of her car on an isolated dirt road in Atascadero, California, in November of 1977. Wow. So, I'm not sure exactly where Atascadero is, but I'm assuming it's probably near Fresno.
How do you spell that?
Atascadero.
Look it up.
Okay.
It is in San Luis Obispo County.
Okay, so south. Yeah, more south of Fresno. Okay. So she was 30 years old. Her throat had been slit and she'd been sexually assaulted. But it was very violent scene. They said she had been traveling to her best friend's... oh my god, I cannot talk. Her best friend's house that evening before. But she never made it. So they found her body. 2 months later, in January of 1978, Patricia Dwyer, 28, was found on the floor of her home in Atascadero. I don't know how to... Whatever. She'd been sexually assaulted and stabbed in the chest with a knife from her own kitchen.
Holy fucking shit.
So very brutal. But also different, right? Like,
totally.
You're looking for somebody who's stabbing somebody and somebody who's cutting people's throats. I feel like that's a pretty big difference.
Yeah.
The 2 women did have friends in common, and they were known to hang out at a local bar called the Tally-Hoooooooo bar.
Hey. Honestly, it sounds like a great time.
Yeah, it kind of does.
The Tally-Hoooooooo!
Right? I'd probably go.
We should find out if it still exists, and we should go.
Okay. If we're ever down there.
We should record an episode from the Tally-Hoooooooo
bar. Okay. Well, we'll put it on our list of things we might do. So other than that, there wasn't really anything that connected them, but investigators still believed that they were attacked by the same person. Like, they had that in their mind, which I think was interesting because of the differences, but maybe there was, like, more. Obviously, there's probably more that they knew that they didn't release. So, they were both found with their hands tied behind their backs, and they were both sexually assaulted. So other than them knowing each other, kind of, those were the things that their crimes had in common. There was also one witness who saw a man named the first woman who was murdered. Her name was Jane Antunez. There was a person who saw a man near her car the night of her death, but they were... that person was never shown a picture of, like, anybody, any suspects or anything. Okay?
You also see my face right now.
Yeah. Arthur Rudy Martinez was a name that had come up in the investigation. Okay? So they never showed his picture to the witness. They never did anything like that. He had been paroled in that area after serving 10 years for attempted murder and rape in Fresno. So this is all before he was charged with rape in Washington. So this is
Wowzers.
before that. He had worked at a local welding shop at the time of these 2 murders, and shortly after the crimes, he left California to go to Washington, and that's where he committed more crimes.
Oh my god.
Yep. When he died, he didn't leave any indication that he had done this. All he copped to was escaping prison. Yeah.
What a cunt.
They actually connected the DNA from the crimes, so they eventually knew that they were committed by the same person, but they didn't know who. They did eventually find a match after it was entered into the database. It was like a match, like a familial match, so it wasn't Martinez, but they believed it was Martinez, so they needed to get his DNA. And this is by then in 2018, and he had died in 2014, so they're like, well, shit, we need to find his DNA.
How are we gonna get this man's DNA? He's dead. He's been dead.
Yes. So what they did was they followed up with one of his former girlfriends, and she randomly had an old razor of his in her cupboard still.
What in the fresh fuck?
Right. So
you're making that up.
Nope. They took it, and then they confirmed that the DNA belonged to him.
Hold
and then
the phone. T for timeout.
Yes.
So this bitch.
Yes, kept his razor. Weird.
For 4+ years?
Oh, probably more than 4 years. It doesn't say if they were still together at the time, like he, was like diagnosed with cancer.
That he cancered.
That he cancered. So it probably was more than 4 years.
What the fuck?
Why? Question mark.
Okay, I don't even like keeping Zach's razor in my shower.
I don't even like keeping my own razors for longer than I have to.
Yeah, that's yucky. Why would you want somebody else's?
And it gets all like rusted and
yeah, that thing was probably grody as fuck.
Yeah. So, well, thank God she did though, because they were able to confirm. Yeah.
Note to self: make sure that I keep everybody's weird DNA having
toothbrushes,
things.
anything. I'm just kidding.
Hairbrushes. Again, I don't want to keep a toothbrush longer than 3 months.
No. Barf.
That's why I'm not sponsored. Have a Quip toothbrush, and they send me refills every 3 months.
Yep. I have a Sonicare. I like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get refills. Throw that shit away.
Yeah, yuckers. Hard pass.
Yeah. So they actually, after they confirmed, they showed the witness probably a picture lineup, and she identified Martinez immediately. That was the man she had seen that night.
Ah!
Yeah. So
also, sidebar, I googled it. I don't think the Tally-Hoooooooo still exists.
Hello.
Because when I googled it, all that pops up is this case.
Probably not, then.
Very upsetting. So there goes my big plans.
Maybe we should open a bar that's called the Tally-Hoooooooo Bar, and we can talk about, like, tie-in true crime somehow. Make an escape room /bar. Fuck. Down for it.
Yeah, and, like, all the, like, shit on the walls is, like, people's, like, mugshots.
Yeah. Okay, this is copyright, you guys. You cannot steal this idea.
Yeah, this is intellectual property that we are coming up with right now.
So don't. If you steal it, I'm gonna come after you.
Yeah, we'll cut a bitch. I mean, that's premeditated now. Fuck. Never mind.
Yeah. Delete that. Edit that out. Just kidding.
Not happening. We know I'm lazy.
Okay, yeah. So basically that's it. Even though that's solved, I'm sure there's more. He committed other rapes. You know, obviously he was in jail after he had murdered these women. So who knows if he had actually killed more people, but he might have sexually assaulted other people.
Wow.
So go look at his picture.
And probably because he's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, he looks like a real grade A piece of shit. So go take a look.
Perfect.
You know, do your thing.
Yeah.
Peeps.
And, you know, rot in hell, sir.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't even give him a sir.
No.
Bruh.
I said dick, so there you go.
Excellent.
Anyways, so that's all I have.
Cool.
Anything fresh, fun, exciting?
Actually, I just watched The Deathly Hallows Part 1,
Ooh.
which is the worster of the two Deathly Hallows movies.
I just started reading Harry Potter #1 to Emerson at nighttime.
I love that.
She falls asleep. We get about 6 pages in. She goes night-nights, but that's okay.
Perfect.
Getting her started young.
This is kind of a sidebar. For Christmas, Jackson got me like an illustrated version of the Sorcerer's Stone. It's really fucking pretty. I think you need a set.
Yes.
Because that'd be like so perfect for like bedtime stories and shit.
Absolutely. Because I mean, the pictures are what they like to look at when they're little.
And
they don't know what you're saying.
Beautifully illustrated.
Okay.
I'll send you pictures so you can try to find it.
I'm gonna look at that.
Also, thank you for that gift. It's beautiful. Speaking of, we're going to be doing Deathly Hallows Part 2, the book and the movie, if you want to be on one of those episodes.
Sure. Yep.
Before we move on to
guest starring, shameless plug, Muggle Props. If you like Harry Potter, listen to Jaymie's other podcast.
Hell yeah.
I guess something fresh. Audrey and I are in very beginning stages of opening a Etsy shop with babies stuff. So we're gonna start like kind of small blankets, bows, things like that, and then we're gonna move into like clothes.
That's so fun.
And because we were talking about how baby shit is notoriously ugly colors, and like the stuff that's not is so expensive. So we're gonna try to like balance like getting nice looking things and like cute, you know, patterns, like things that you don't mind having in your house.
Totally.
Versus like affordability. So keep an eye out for that. Yeah.
Love that.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
We just have to learn to sew.
I was gonna say, are you making the things, or?
Yeah, we're gonna make them. My cousin Tawny is very talented at sewing, so we're gonna
love that bitch.
Hit her up, and hopefully, she can help us out.
That's super fun.
Help us list out. Anyways, yeah,
that's moss exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I love that for y'all.
So thanks, but that's all I have.
Cool. When it's out, we'll make sure to do some ads for it.
Yes. Oh, perfect. Yeah. I'm not gonna pay us, but just kidding.
I would like at least $7.
Yeah, but
you can pay yourself the $7.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, as long as I also get $7.
I'll just get free baby shit. My baby's gonna model it, so.
Oh my god.
She's so cute.
And then for boy stuff, you can model it on Dingo.
Yes, perfect. I have to find somebody.
You should make pet bandanas and shit too.
That'd be cute, actually.
And little doggy bow ties.
We should. And
we're workshopping right now. Don't mind us.
I used to make Harlow. I made her a collar, and it was so pretty, and I got rose gold. But it ended up like she grew up and got too big for it. Her neck, she's she's a thick with 2 C's little girl. So
yeah, and her neck is real thick.
It's thick. She has a huge head, so she outgrew it. But actually, Tawny helped me make that, and it turned out really cute. So it was actually really easy to make once you if you know how to sew.
Well, I don't know how to sew, but like I actually used to make a lot of my own jewelry.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I used to like buy like cool beads and like shit.
Cool.
Used to make necklaces and earrings and shit.
I bought a bunch of stuff to do that on my maternity leave. Ask me if I did any of it.
I feel like you would have told me if you did it.
I sure did not.
Well, I can teach you how to make things.
Yeah, I'm down.
Because it's easy.
I love to learn. So
yeah.
But yeah. So thanks for listening.
Yeah.
This is Hot for Justice.
And make sure that you like, rate, subscribe, do all the things.
Yes, please. Apple, whatever you listen to.
Yeah, please give us as many stars as you think we deserve. Because it helps the algorithm and more people can find us.
Yes.
Tell a friend.
I mean, it really takes you like 5 seconds. And eventually we wanted to do like a giveaway, but
no one's commented and left any reviews.
Yeah, so like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Get it together. Just kidding. Please do it.
Yeah, Thanks. And if you're listening, screenshot it, share it on your Instagram story. We'll repost you.
Yeah.
Or, wherever you're listening, we'll retweet it, reblog it, whoever.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not on Tumblr, so we're not going to reblog it, but...
No.
So we can't promise what we can't give.
True.
But we will, share that you are listening.
Yes.
On the platform that you talk about us on.
We sure will.
Yes. And until next time, see you later. Bye.
Bye.